Welcome to This Week in Washington for September the 23rd, 2011. This was a week in which we experienced and heard many pieces of good news relative to our efforts on transportation reauthorization. The best news of the week came yesterday, following a visit that Mr. Bogren had with a number of other interested groups with Congressman Micah concerning the next transit reauthorization. Mr. Micah said that he believes it is possible to find an additional amount of money to offset any reductions proposed by the Ryan budget for transit and highways in the next reauthorization. Toward that end, he has agreed to a 6-month extension of the current bill in an effort to find the right source of revenue to keep transit at its current level. This is a significant breakthrough. During the meeting, Mr. Micah also called attention to the transportation reauthorization effort as America's real jobs bill. This is welcome news, and we hope that working with the congressman and his staff, we'll be able to play our role in helping them find that necessary amount of money to maintain the important work and commitment to public transit and to our nation's highways. In addition to that, this week, we are very cheered to learn that Congressman Carson from Indiana will be introducing 2 pieces of legislation before Congress adjourns this September 30th for its next scheduled holiday. The first is the Community Transit Act of 2011. This short legislation will provide a broad range of local share options for transit systems of all kinds, but particularly it will allow the use of fare box revenue to be considered a source of local share. We think this goes a long way into helping local transit systems use the funds they collect locally as important ingredients to making their transportation programs successful. In cases where communities do not have ample tax support or special legislation, and particularly in rural communities, we think the fare box is a vital source of local revenue, and we appreciate this legislation that would allow it to be used that way. In addition to the Community Transit Act, Congressman Carson is also introducing the Transit Flexibility Act, which includes additional ways to help community and public transit deal with local share issues like those that we have encountered because of the economic situation and that we encountered as a fallout of the issues that were created in New Orleans and Mississippi by the hurricanes several years ago when the local tax base was destroyed and unavailable to use for federal funds. At that time, we worked with others to create a possibility for a waiver that the Secretary could give of all non-federal transportation requirements during an emergency. Congressman Carson's bill makes that possible, but also makes it possible to request such a waiver based upon the local economic situation. The interesting factor in the congressman's bill, which we certainly like, is that if you submit this waiver, the Secretary has only 60 days to deny it. Other than that, a waiver would automatically go through to the benefit of the local transit system trying to meet a special economic need. Speaking of the jobs bill, I did want to let you know that we will be hosting a webinar shortly on the jobs bill with both the White House and with the U.S. Department of Transportation. As people who support a broad range of discussion about our legislation and our goals, we think it's appropriate for us to be a forum so that our members can hear directly from representatives of the President and the administration about why the Jobs Bill is important and how it will play an important role in community and public transportation. Today, that date is being worked on, and I hope that you'll be hearing from us shortly about when this exciting webinar will take place. As many of you have already heard, I will be on the road this week, trying to combine a trip to both the Dakota Transit Association meeting in Grand Forks and participating in the 40th anniversary celebration of the founding of OATS in Missouri. These two interesting meetings this week provide a kind of circle around the important elements of community and public transit. The hard work done in the Dakotas of bringing rural transit to areas of extremely challenging operating conditions, and OATS closely linked in so many ways to the basic values that created community and public transit in the very beginning, focusing on those who most need the services that transportation can provide to make their lives and situations better. So I'm looking forward to both experiences this week, and I'm looking forward to seeing Barb Klein in the Dakotas, and of course Linda Yeager when I'm in Columbia, Missouri for that situation and that anniversary. So I look forward to the week ahead. We will have many updates this week, and I encourage you to consider still tuning in to our news updates as well as our websites. Even though we have good news on reauthorization, we still face the challenge of what happens on October 1st when the current authorization continues for 6 months and we don't have enough revenue in the trust fund to fund it. That still remains a huge priority for us, even though in all of these other areas this week, we have made significant advances. Thank you, and I look forward to talking with you soon. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to send them along. Have a great weekend, and have a great week. Thanks, and goodbye for now.